My name is Dominic Smith. I'm currently the editor of Soundsphere Magazine, and I'm also founder of the Disabled Entrepreneurs Network and a freelance music and arts and culture and pretty much everything else journalist. Basically, volunteering has shaped my professional life. Before I started getting paid work, I did volunteering throughout the years of, with a little bit of paid work as well, but I started doing volunteering from 2007 to 2008, 2009, 2010 and 11 for a variety of organisations and magazines, including Chaos Media in York, but also in London, at publications including T3, Stuff, Metal Hammer, NME, a fantastic list, also The Quietus as well. It was a fairly recent addition. Basically, volunteering has given me all the professional contacts I've needed. It's given me, it's pretty much shaped my professional life. I started volunteering because obviously I've always wanted to be involved in the creative industries, and the creative industries are incredibly competitive wherever you are, all over Europe or all over the world really. So I wanted to give myself a leg up. Obviously, not everybody is able to do volunteering. There's a lot of financial constraints there and things like that. But since I was able to, I travelled to these various magazines in London and also worked for newspapers regionally and locally, all for free. And obviously, this was through 4 years worth of volunteering really, just to build my experience and contacts. Obviously, it was it was a great time for me. I made a lot of valuable contacts that are still with me today during my professional life. Now that I'm getting paid work, they have helped me to do that. So I would say that my volunteering experiences were incredibly necessary, and the reason I did it was to make contacts and to build my reputation, and I did that, and I'm reaping the benefits currently. Well, I think that obviously when you're volunteering, it's a little bit easier, and there's a lot less pressure. There's still pressure because obviously you're still working quite often for a professional organisation, even as a volunteer, and you need to do a good job. So I was doing a good job, but also I was able to learn. I was able to make mistakes that I wouldn't be able to make, and I was able to. Obviously, I don't advise anybody go and make loads of mistakes, but you are able to make mistakes. You're able to learn from your experiences as a volunteer, and it's relaxed. You're able to ask questions. You know, obviously when you're in a full-time role, there's not necessarily the time to ask questions of people. You're able to ask questions. You're able to learn your craft. You're able to pick people's brains really and ask them the things that you need to know, that you need to learn for your future. So that's what I did when I was volunteering. I took every opportunity to speak to people as much as possible, where obviously I wouldn't have the time, and perhaps they wouldn't have the time if I was working as a full-time employed part of the organisation. So I took as much opportunities as I could to ask questions and to make the most of the opportunities that I have, the only opportunities that I was ever going to have, to make mistakes and learn from them really. I would say that it's incredible, going to be incredibly valuable to you. Obviously, I understand that it's not always easy to volunteer. There are financial constraints there, but if you're able to, even for a few months to a few weeks, I would say that, especially within your chosen industry, whether it's creative or whatever, volunteering is incredibly useful because you show your dedication, you show your passion for what you would love to do. Obviously, I was able to travel to London and travel around the country really to do my volunteering roles. But even just if you can go to your local organisation, wherever that is, obviously for me it was newspapers and to magazines as well. But if you can go to a local organisation and get a few weeks worth of experience, you will make those contacts, and those contacts, providing you're driven, providing you do your job well, providing you're passionate, which obviously naturally you will. Otherwise you wouldn't be interested in volunteering in the first place, then they will keep in touch with you, and they will give you contacts that hopefully when you go onto a professional role with paid work, they will still support you and hopefully find you some work. And that's what's happened to me, so I'm sure it can happen to anybody else as well. So volunteering is especially in this day and age with the competitive job market as is, I would say it's essential. I would say that it's certainly a really great tool to aid in personal and professional development.